Live.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, welcome to Biz Chicks TV, everybody. This is the place to be for tips, tools, strategies, and help so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we have our digital diva, Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online and Attention Necessary, coming in to give us insights and wisdom and sharing some really good information. Today we're talking about hitting the target. We're picking up from our conversation on last week, giving your people what they really want in the way of content. So without further ado, thank you for watching live and on the replay. And here's Terry Johnson.
Hello, everybody. Good morning to the West Coast, and I'm sorry to hear about what's going on. It's very tragic, and I hope everything is going to get better soon for everybody. It's not a good thing to have a disaster like that. So, want to say hi to the West Coast, hi to the East Coast, everybody in between. Welcome to what we're going to talk about today. Is we're going to continue our discussion from last week, where I had to leave early and wrap it up. So we are going to continue the discussion, and it was about creating content that people are searching for. So it's very important to do that, because you don't want to create content that nobody wants. And we talked a little bit about that last week. If you didn't see that discussion last week, I'm going to recap it a little bit, but please go back and watch last Tuesday's show on Terry Johnson Online on Facebook and Biz Chicks and the Biz Chick group, all on Facebook. Okay, so catch up with that, but I'm going to do a little recap. And we're going to say welcome to everybody today. I see Pat is here. I'm just looking and seeing Pat is saying hey there. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping things right now, so just give me just like a minute of your time.
And while she's doing that, we want to welcome you all who are watching by YouTube as well. And Pat, I just want to say I apologize so much for Sunday. I don't know what happened. Our schedule got a little twisted around, so hopefully you can please accept our humble apologies. And we'd like to make another time to get with you if that works for you. So, and then I also want to know how that show went. Yeah.
Oh, yes, the show. Yes.
Yeah.
If you put in a comment, Pat, while I'm doing this, I would really, really love to know.
Yeah, so, because Terry and I were supposed to be with her, and I was like, oh, man.
She put emojis. She put some emojis in there.
She probably is cussing me out on emojis.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because I'm sharing this everywhere.
Well, Pat is really good with the emojis. I got to learn the emoji language. I know you taught us that.
Yes, we talked about that.
I was like, okay, that's another language I now need to learn.
Well, with emojis, you can take it easy. Just search, do a search for emoji encyclopedia. It's a tip for everybody out there. Search for emoji encyclopedia on Google, and you'll see the encyclopedia or the Wikipedia, whatever it is, that it lists each emoji, and then it will tell you like the background of it, so you can make sure that you're using the right emoji, because some people use emoji for different things. I'm just saying that eggplant emoji is used for something else. You don't want to use that one. Trust me, don't use that. So there's some emojis that have some dubious meanings. So the kids are using it for one thing, and the adults are using it for
another thing.
Yeah, be sure you know what it is. Now, the smiley emoji, everybody knows what that is, but some of the others, I'm just saying, be careful.
Yeah, Pat says she uses the same 3 or 4 emojis. I guess that will keep you safe.
Yeah, I do too. I like the one with the glasses, the smile. I stick with the safe ones, so that's the deal. Stick with the safe ones. And let me put my mic over. I want my mic over there. So, this is live streaming, guys. So we're setting up, making sure we're sharing this out, because we want this to, two's a Is two a party? Not quite. So we need some more people. And so I'm saying, hey, come on in and join us because we're talking about something good, content, which is necessary online.
Really?
You cannot connect with your audience without content, and content is simply what? The information you're sharing. People like to talk about storytelling now and messages. It's just simply your message, what you want to say to connect to your audience. So think of it that way. What am I going to say today that's going to get the attention of my audience? What am I going to post that I know that my audience needs to hear? That's content. It's just keep it simple. We're not going to, go into all of these terms and influencer marketing and all of that stuff that's just every day is something different and new. But here, this is where you come to find out what's different and what's new, so you don't have to worry about it. We're going to talk about it right here.
So here's the thing that I just got a thought about. Content is conversations that you are having with your people.
I like that.
Okay, I was like, wow, okay, content is conversation.
That's a simple way to put it. I want to keep it simple. Because when I read stuff online and I, hear, the people that I follow and they use these acronyms and terms and industry jargon and we're not going to use it here. And if I do use it here, I will tell you, like I'll say KPI, that's a key performance indicator, which is simply a goal, a target you want to hit. But they want to make it, it's KPI. And there's that talk. Like when you go to the doctor, there's talk that they know, in their industry. But they don't use that. The good doctors don't use that with their patient. They might say the name of whatever it is, but then they try to break it down because, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. So this is where you come and you go, I don't know what that means. And then I say, well, this is what it means, and we're going to keep it simple and break it down. So that's what we're doing here.
And Carlos says, I can add so much to this conversation. So we're looking forward to...
I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. So we were talking, and thank you guys for coming, the live gang is coming, the replay gang. I know you're here. Replay gang, put your hashtag replay gang or say hi or wave, whatever you want to put. Also share this out. That's the call to action. You must ask your audience to do something for you, and it's up to them to do it. So if I say, you share this out and we can get more people in the discussion and get more voices and more views and more thoughts and more questions, it makes this a more robust conversation than it's just, okay, there's two people talking on the screen, but they're ignoring the chat. I hate when they do that. I don't like that. I know that, you have two people on the screen and you're doing an interview style. Okay, and you got information you want to put out. The person has a book or a webinar or whatever. That's great. But take some time to look at the comments, and that's what I'm doing. I go and I say, okay, let me look at the comments, and we read the comments.
Like Carlos's comment right here, focusing on KPI is manipulation of the audience.
Ooh.
So that's kind of like just focusing.
Okay, I'm not seeing that comment. Let me update my. Go ahead, Fran. I'm sorry.
That's kind of like you know how Terry Austin talks about business is like dating.
Yes.
So focusing on your KPI, your key performance indicator, kind of sounds like you're going for one.
Okay, I got it now. I see.
Maybe you're going only for the money. Or maybe you're only going for the likes.
Let's explore that. I like that Carlos brought that up and see how he's adding to the conversation. And this needs to be brought up. And right. I say KPI because I know that where I am and the things that I read, that's the stuff that floats around, the terms that float around. And then when someone who's a business owner or you're just running a Shopify store, you're just doing something online and you want more engagement, and you hear these terms and these things thrown about, and you're like, what the heck? What is all of that? I just want to know how to get more engagement. I just want to know how to get people to follow me. I just want to learn how to get my message to the right person so they can hear it. That's what you want. But they want to talk about all of these things, and the focus needs to be on the message. That's why we're talking about content so much here in the last couple of months. Because I feel like content is your strong suit, whether you're doing organic, which is, natural posting without any ads, or even if you're doing ads. There's nothing wrong with doing ads. The ads would just give you a boost, but you still, in both instances, still have to have the correct message. That's why you'll see things about, if you haven't heard about people talking about copywriting, and if that's one thing you really need to work on. Copywriting is just learning the language of how to talk to people in the right way so they hear the word that you're saying, writing, or wherever you're posting it, so they hear it. That's copywriting. And copywriting goes back to advertising. They know they would, the agencies, and they still do, employ people that know how to write stuff conversationally.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that would, let me tell you, I know a lot of people that will get on and think they have to write a thesis, like it's school. No, you don't. That's a wrong path. And I'm not talking about grammar and all. I'm talking about people that think they have to write like it's a presentation in school, and it's not school. You're writing conversationally to talk to people, and that's copywriting.
And we're not talking about the copyright where you have the little C with the circle in it.
Yeah.
We're talking about the writing that you do.
Copyright, like the words, like knowing the right words to put together in a sentence, in a message, in a post, in a book, or whatever that's going to reach the people that you want to reach. It's not writing a term paper.
It's the words that you use to tell your story or to share your conversation with your people.
Right.
That's copy.
Yes, copy. And it's an advertising term, but it's copy. It means the words that are put down that will reach and connect.
Yes.
That's really it. Reach and connect. Because you can write words, but do they reach and connect? And that's a big part of what I see people going online, and I can't get any engagement. I can't get people to follow me. Nobody responds. Nobody writes comments. Are you asking them questions? Are you talking to them? Are you putting your copy in? Not like, this is school. Get rid of that. I have a client that the comma and this, and I was like, wait a minute. This is online. This is not academia. This is not that kind of world where you get penalized if the comma's in the wrong place. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the feelings and thoughts you put in the words to reach and connect. Reach and connect. That's what you want to do. If you don't reach and connect, then people are busy. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're looking at things that interest them. So if you're not putting a picture or a thought or a message where the copy or the photo is eye-catching, eye-grabbing, or, wow, let me see what that's about. Titles are very important in this copywriting, too. This copy, too. That's how you get them to stop. That wheel, that finger, that's how you get them to stop. Either the photo or the title. Something has to make them stop. And then the copy is what keeps them. Breadcrumbs. Yes. I always say breadcrumbs. Think of this. I need a picture. I need a title. I need the content. Call to action is at the end. The call to action is, leading them to your website, leading them to you sign up for your email. Whatever the thing is at the end of this road that you want to accomplish. So really, that's what it is.
I have a question for our audience. What grabbed your attention? The last thing that someone wrote, someone that you followed, or a book that you read. Why did you pick it up? Why did you go to that particular post?
Good. I'm glad you said book, and we're getting off topic. but this is still content. On the news today, if you notice in the last couple of days, there's a book coming out. Well, it was already out by former First Lady Michelle Obama, called Becoming, and it's about her life from as a child that caught all of the things that created her to become the woman she is now. And there are some things in there that you're going, wow. I'm going, wow, I got to read this book. So she's on a media blitz, or whatever they want to call it, but she's on this channel and that channel. She's
the tour.
Yeah, she has a tour, and she has a tour where she, you buy it. Tickets are already sold out. The tickets went on sale like 2 months ago. So if you're trying to get a ticket now, it was 2 months ago.
You better know somebody.
Yeah, you got to know whatever. But 2 months ago, it went on sale, and the content, people are eagerly awaiting this book because we didn't really hear from her unless it was, official statements from government-wise. This is her message personally where she's like, I'm not in the White House anymore. I'm not the First Lady anymore. I want to talk about all of those things. Then when I couldn't talk when they were happening. So that's why you see in the news there's a little snippet here and a little snippet. There's little breadcrumbs to get you to buy that book. And, the tour, you can't. Unless she adds some dates, which I probably will not, but that tour is sold out. But there's that interest with a book. I think she's the only person, there's a couple other people that could say, I got a book coming out today, go buy it, and people go buy it. But most authors have to do the setup.
Right.
3 months ago, they put the tease, I'm thinking of writing a new book, or 6 months ago, I'm thinking of writing a new book about XYD, what do you think? Or here's the cover, take a vote on the cover. Or it's almost finished. I can't wait for you guys to read it. That's what those breadcrumbs do with your content to where you get everybody engaged in the process. So we've been engaged in her process because she was First Lady for all those years. So this is like the end result of, okay, what does she think when this happened? And what, she's putting all of that in the book. Promoting the tour, promoting the book by going on the ABC, NBC, CBS, all the, NPR, all of those places, and giving you a little taste of this is what's going to be on the tour. So that's a really good way to show content and promoting and breadcrumbs. I mean, it's just perfect setup from...
Then I want to interject this too.
Oh, and the book sold out before today online.
Yes. So I want to say this, it's probably well written. So your content has to be good too.
Yes, your content has to be good.
It needs to be thought out, well written, planned.
Yes.
It's not a shoot from the hip. Now, the shoot from the hip and your little thoughts of the day, something that, I think I'll share this. Those are reserved for your posts on Instagram and maybe Facebook. But when you are doing a larger piece, I would say like a longer piece, it needs to be thought out.
Right. You're not going to give them the whole meal. You're going to lead up to it with the little taste of this and a little taste of that. They call it the tease, not clickbait, the tease.
The teaser.
Like, this, you take a picture of, okay, whatever it is you're working on and say, can you guess what this is? And your audience gets engaged by going, ooh, wonder what, people guess a book or this or that. That's what you want. You don't want to post something and say, this is it. You want to lead up to it with breadcrumbs to get them engaged, titles and your message and showing a little bit of background and whatever. Everybody's not Michelle Obama where people got an instant buy. And the thing about her is she's going to get people to buy whether they like her or not. The haters will buy her book also because they are invested in her on the negative side, but they're still invested. And do you think she cared?
No, and so here's the thing. She built that audience over 10 years ago.
Right, by being herself, by being First Lady, by putting initiatives, because they listed all the initiatives, the Get Move, the White House Guard, all those things. Those are things that she was doing back then that all the breadcrumbs gathered together, and now it's, I want to say it's a crab cake. I don't know where that came from. I'm thinking breadcrumbs, crab cake. I'm hungry. I like crab. Out of Maryland. I don't know that's just where it come from. But breadcrumbs, now she got a finished product and it's a delicious crab cake.
But sometimes I think people believe that when you do social media, it's going to give you instant people and you're going to be instant
Mm-hmm.
publicity and it's going to be quick and fast. That's not how that happened. It took her 10 years to build an audience.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. People think, well, I'm invested in social media. It should be an instantaneous. It's a jackpot. You know, when you go to Vegas and the slots, or you go to Atlantic City, you put a coin in. Oh, it should come out right there. No, you have to work at this. That's why it's work. Content is work. But think about it. What's your end goal? What do you want? You want more attention. You want to grow your audience. You want to grow your business. All those things, you have to content. And it has to be the right content. It has to be attractive content. It has to be great looking, attention grabbing. It has to be what I want, the audience. So last time I said take the focus off of what you want and always put the focus on what do they want? What is the problem with my audience? What are their pain points? What are they looking for? What do I think they need? Let me test this. If I think they need this new product, let me test it. Don't just make it, test it. Say, oh, I'm thinking about writing this ebook or writing this book about blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Those are the most important questions. What do you think? And leave it and see what happens. If you don't get anything off of that, do another, come around and say, well, let me do a photo of something I know that will get their interest that's tied into what we're talking about. What do you think? You're going to get some bites. We talk about fishing too. Mm-hmm. It's like fishing. You're going to put your worm on a hook, put it in the water, and you're going to sit there and go, oh man, this fish, and then the fish aren't biting. Well, then where do you go? You go to another part of the lake, or you go to another part and say, well, I got to go where the fish are biting. Somebody wants this worm on the hook. Mm-hmm. One of those, a fish wants it. So that's what I mean by the content. The content is that worm. You put the right lure or the right bait on there for the type of fish. And you know that because you're an expert fisherman. You know that, I'm in fresh water versus salt water. I'm in this versus that. I know that this fish likes that. All of that is involved in fishing. And that's because the knowledge is there. So you have the knowledge of, I know what my audience likes. I know because I've been in the business, or I have customers, or I've, done some research or tools or whatever. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about, some of the tools that you can use. But you know those things, and you use them to go out and put your content on the hook and put it in the water and get your fish. I mean, simple terms, I'm trying to get everybody to understand. It's not difficult. Where people complain about social media and the work is that it takes time. You either do time or you buy ads. But even if you buy ads, you still have to have the right content, the right post, the right picture, the right copywriting, the right words, the right message. It still has to be there. It's not an easy, that's not an easy out doing an ad. Because people do ads and they still don't work. I spent all this money on the ad, it doesn't work. Go back to the content. Exactly,
because most of the time the ad doesn't work. It's because of the presentation, or what the ad was saying.
The message. Copywriting. You may have to involve a professional. And there are plenty of people out there that do it for social media. A couple that I follow that's all they do is they talk about copywriting. I got a book.
And then Coach Karen over on YouTube says, yes, it takes time. Everything does.
Yes.
Everything. And see, we live in an instant society where it appears instant, but it's really not.
Right.
Instant.
It's not.
It just instant. Looks like it's instant.
Think about your favorite performer, entertainer, what have you, that's really popular now. Did they become popular overnight? It may seem like it, but they were in the trenches. And for one example, Lady Gaga, I remember when she was doing TV talk shows. She was just on the talk shows. They were like Lady Gaga. She was doing weird stuff, and I remember seeing this singer. I was like, what the heck is she doing? But she's been in doing that stuff, and then all of a sudden something snapped and she blew up. I don't remember what it was. She went on something, she did something, and all of her effort, which she had been doing before, now it turns her into a star where someone is paying attention to her.
Yep.
But she was doing it before when nobody knew who she was. And I remember her because she had this weird name.
Yes, and now she's crossing genres. And when she started working with Tony Bennett, she just increased her reach.
Right.
So now she's not with the little monsters anymore. Yeah, I mean she still has her little monster audience.
She has them, but she learned how to transcend from this genre isn't working. Let me try something that may work. And she didn't jump into something weird and outlandish. She was like Tony Bennett.
And then now she just did the movie A Star Is Born, the remake. And okay, so now that's a whole different thing. But that was the building. She just didn't jump into A Star Is Born. She did
TV shows, right? She did some other small parts.
And then Coach Karen says this snap of your finger stuff. People have to get out of that kind of thinking and doing and then doing. You got to do. She said doing, and then more doing.
Right. I mean, this is what we're doing here a little bit is to get people that if you're watching, if you're watching a replay, watching live, or this is your first time, welcome. But this is what we're talking about. We're trying to get people into that idea of content because they see people do it. They see Gary Vaynerchuk. They see other people. Why is that guy so successful? Well, he put in a whole bunch of work where nobody knew his name and people was mispronouncing his name, and it was like, what kind of... But he did the work. He went on Conan as the wine guy. He did the thing on YouTube as the wine guy. He said nobody watched. Think about it. So think about, say, 10 years ago where he was and there he is now. He's got all these people watching and hanging on his every word. And you can apply that to anybody right now that you think is, they're big and famous. They started out with nothing, with zero. They put in the work. And they got to be where they are now. Now, the ones that didn't put in the work, you don't know who they are because they didn't put in the work.
Alfredo says microwave success does not equal instant success.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Because you have to put that work in.
You really, the work is not sometimes easy. It's work. It's not. It's doing. Coach Karen says it's the boring stuff that nobody wants to do.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. But think about what you're doing in the course of your day, and you now have this fabulous, expensive phone that you spent all this money on. Make that thing work for you. Use it. Take some pictures. You're out walking. You're out doing something. You're in the back of your store doing something. You're crafting and making something. Just say, let me take a real quick snap and share that online. Real quick. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be perfection. Say, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm working on. What do you think? Always ask a question. Ask the question. If you don't ask the question, nobody is going to care. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, and keep scrolling with their little finger, and they're going to look at Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, Selena Gomez, Justin, all those people. Whoever it is that's popular, they're going to look for those posts. Because that's what they want. That's what they're looking at. But you can catch their attention if it's right content, the right message, and you know that. You'll know that.
Alfredo says, yes, 2 years ago I put in the work, learning live streaming. I am working on taking on new customers. Now he's working on taking on new customers. So it took him 2 years of doing the live stream work to learn it, to get good at it.
Yes. Yes, everybody that's doing live streaming now, and they feel comfortable and they have a little success or an audience or whatever. They didn't start out today. They started out with Blab, or they started out before Blab. There's always been some kind of live streaming platform. I think the Livestream, and there's another one that was out before, but it just got easier with the phone when the phones. The technology adapted and, everything became easier to stream. It just seems like everything, live streaming, but people have been doing it for a while. So
when Meerkat came out and Other people, and here's the thing: you got to go live. You just got to do it. Okay, makeup, no makeup, just turn the thing on and go live. You have to start and stumble somewhere. Babies stumble when they first start walking.
Yes.
It's going to be okay.
But why do people want to skip that part and go straight to running? They want to run the Boston Marathon, the New York Marathon. Like, I want to be that. And like you said, you got to crawl first and do the work of, okay, let me post something. Don't overthink it. Post it. Oh, I got crickets. Well, guess what? Do another post, approach it a different way, post it, ask a question, say, hey, I got a couple of bites. Then respond to those people and keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Carlos is saying no, and
I'm saying no.
I don't know what you're saying no to, Carlos. Enlighten us.
You don't want to do the work? I know he does the work. Carlos does the work.
Carlos does the work. And it's like he's working. He has a device that's out that helps you do live streaming, and he's been working on it for a while. But what happens if he stops? Will we ever see it? There are some people who will stop. You know, you can't stop. You got to keep improving.
So let's talk about some tools. And I mentioned a couple last time. It was Google Autocomplete.
Sorry, Carlos is making a joke. Don't go live without makeup. Okay, Carlos, we won't go live without makeup. You will be properly dressed, camera ready. Then we will go live. Okay. Unless it's part of the message, he says.
It could be, yes. Who was Alicia Keys had the no makeup thing, so she could have gone live and had other people gone live and supported that. So that's where it works. But
there are some people.
Sure it ties in.
There are some people who do good with no makeup. Just saying.
Okay, so some of the free, and I always talk about free tools. There are lots of paid tools, but we want to focus on the free tools. So we know the biggest one is Google Autocomplete or Autofill. When you go to Google and you type in a keyword, a search term, and Google will give you a drop-down list of, it will try to finish it for you with a long tail keyword or a sentence or a question. That's because those are items that people have already searched for, and it's similar to what you're starting to type. So as you type in more letters, you'll see more or different things pop up. So pay attention to that. And also when you do your Google search and it's complete, scroll all the way to the bottom. There'll be some more help at the bottom. There'll be some more Google search terms that may relate to the topic or the keywords or the search item you put in, and you may be able to use that information. So a lot of free stuff in there. Another one, Google Trends. A lot of people don't use this one, but you really should go in, because you can go into Google Trends and you just type in Google Trends, and it will show you the things that people are talking about, topic-wise, keyword-wise, and you can look at a trend over time. You can look at it from last year, the year before, and you can see, what's getting popular. Like with podcasts, if you go and look at podcasts, it's a good one to look at. You'll see where it started, and it started to grow, and you'll see the trends. So that's another one to go, well, okay, what are people talking about? What my audience might be interested in? And with that, you can type in keywords, too, and see what's going on, and you'll also get suggestions. It's a great tool. Take a look at it, Google Trends. BuzzSumo, that is a paid one, but it has a free part that doesn't give you a lot of information, but it may just give you enough, because they'll show you the list of the most shared articles on the search term that you put in, and you can look at that and say, well, okay, if this type of post or this information or this, the article is getting this much traction on, and there'll be Facebook, Twitter, I believe Instagram. It'll show you little circles of each platform, and there'll be numbers. So if you see a large amount on Facebook, that tells you that this article is popular on Facebook and the content is popular with audiences on Facebook, so you may want to use that topic or the keywords or whatever if it relates to what you're trying to post. So BuzzSumo, but the power of BuzzSumo is really in the paid version, and I'm not sure how much it is. But then you have to get the subscription to see more tools. But you can use it for free. You get they give you a little snippet of, here's a couple of things, and then they'll say, okay, for the rest you have to pay. Because BuzzSumo is a business, so they're trying to make money too. Answer the Public. This is not a common one, but it's a good one. So when you go to Answer the Public, you'll see a guy with glasses and a sweater, and he's standing there looking all like, what do you want? Like all crotchety. And you have to type in, you can type in a keyword, you can type in a question, and you'll get more information back in a visual diagram of like a who, what, where, when, and why, surrounding your topic, your keyword, or your search term, whatever you put in. So that's a good one. So I like that Answer the Public. It's not one that a lot of people use, but take a look at it. Now, two advanced ones that are SEO based, and we haven't really talked about SEO. We should talk about it, because that's another way for you to figure out, well, what did my audience want? What are the things they're searching for? So, I don't know how to pronounce this. Ahrefs. It's Ahrefs, and it's a site where they go in and they look at website data, like the backlinks and what one website is connected to, the keywords they use, the amount of visitors they have, monthly or whatever. So you can look at that data. Like I said, this is an advanced tool. If you're interested in SEO, it's really advanced. So it's Ahrefs. I think that's what it is. And I don't know how to pronounce it. I just know it. And SEMrush. SEMrush is a good site to go to, because they give you a unique look at your competitors' websites. Like if you know your competitors and you know their website, you can go in and put their website in, and you'll get all kind of data about your competitors' websites, like the keywords they're using, who their articles are linked to, because you may want to try to get your articles linked to that source also on the website. So those are two good tools. But like I said, those are really advanced tools. They do have some keyword functions, and they have a lot of information in there. So both of those are paid also. And like I said, this is not an endorsement for you to go out and purchase the subscription. They all have free options where you get to see a little bit of data. So take a look at it. If it's something that fits your needs, you have the money, you want to pay, go ahead.
Coach Karen on YouTube is saying, this is great information, Terry. These are good tips.
Thank you. I'm glad you're getting. I'm glad you're getting use out of what we're talking about, because you want to use some tools, and I always look at, well, what's free first. Look at what's free first, and then most of them have paid options, and you can say, well, let me see if this fits what I needed to do, and if it does, then you can go ahead and pay for the option. Most of them, are like $30 a month, or some go as high as $99. But that, again, you have to decide, is this a tool that I can use on a daily basis to find information about keywords, about my competitors' websites, what they're doing, how good they're doing, what kind of visitors they're getting to their website, what's the amount of shares their articles are getting on social. You can get all of that.
Interesting.
Okay. I didn't check I'm just looking at the comments real quick.
I'm putting BuzzSumo, and I think it's Answer the Public.
Yeah, answer the Public, and I will type these in.
I think I put it in there.
Okay, yeah, BuzzSumo.com. That's it.
And then Answer the Public.
Yeah, answer the Public.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to do, go to Google, put Answer the Public, and you'll see Answer the Public. And like I said, it's a visual tool. So there'll be a guy There'll be a full spread of a guy in a sweater and glasses going like, hurry up and ask me a question, kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of crotchety guy. And then you put your term in, or your question, or your keyword, whatever you're searching, and then he's going to give it back to you, and it's going to be a visual wheel representing, and it's going to be like a who, what, where, when, why in front of your search term. And then you can click on each of those, and you can go in more detail into that particular question. So it's a visual representation of like the search, the Google keyword search tool, and different things. And you can look at those, see which one you like. You can, like I said, you can simply use Google. Just pay attention to the drop-down autofill list. When you complete your Google search, look at the bottom. There'll be more suggestions for other keywords that tie in, or search terms that tie into what you typed in. All of those can give you insights onto something you may not be paying attention to that's connected to your term that you're searching in also. It'll give you ideas. You'll go, oh, I didn't know. Or you can even go more niche in a broad term. Like if I type in digital marketing, there'll be other things in there, and I can go, well, I can niche it down and figure that that's the long tail keyword part of it. So you go, instead of it being one or two words, you're going into a whole sentence structure, which is good because that means if someone is typing in a whole question or a whole search term like that, they have more of an intent to buy. They have a deeper intent.
Cool.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Good. So I'm glad that everybody is, adding to the conversation, giving us questions, opinions, letting us know that the information is connecting. That's what we're here for. I'm not going to give you information that you can't use. This is stuff you can use.
And it'll help you create better content, relevant content.
Well, that's the key. Relevant, target, and this is what we said last week, targeted, relevant content. That's why I called it hitting the target. Targeted, relevant. Because if it's not relevant to the person, they're not going to pay attention. That's why you have to take the focus away from you and your intent. Well, I want them to do this. Your audience is not going to do what you want. They're going to do what they want. But you're going to give them some guides, some messages, some things, and always ask the question, what do you think? What do you think? Or, ask the question. Never just leave a post without a question and going, okay, there it is. They're not going to act on it unless you direct them. And it's not a negative thing. It's not a negative thing because the audience is connecting with you for a reason. They're reading your post for a reason. They're looking at your video for a reason. They're listening to your podcast for a reason. So you want to keep that connection going. You're not forcing them because, believe me, if they don't want to be there, they won't be there. There's lots of other things going on that can get their attention. Social media, it's a double-edged sword. You can use it. Well, I can reach so many people, but then on the other side of that, the audience can go, well, I don't really connect with anything that you're saying. Bye. 2, 3 seconds, 6 seconds. Bye.
And then you need to understand that because we are in an era where we get to make our choices, they may have to go take the kids to school. They may have to go do something else, but they'll come back to your content when they have opportunity. It doesn't mean that because you put it out today and nobody said anything that they won't find it later.
There are lots of influencers that have said that they've written articles like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that still get traffic because they wrote it in such a way that it connected with their audience and it was evergreen. Evergreen means the leaves never fall off the tree. It stays green. It's something that's always needed. It's information that's always needed. So they're always getting traffic to this 8-year-old post, but they'll go in and say, you'll see some posts like that and they'll say update. They'll make sure that it's current. If there's any little facts or any little numbers or data, they'll come in and change it and say, I came in to change the data to reflect, this date. And they'll put update. but it's the same thing, and they get the same traffic to that one article, that one post on their website. Or it may be more than one, but that's how they write their information, to keep people going and going, and say, well, someone next year may need this. And I'm going to write it in such a way that it's not too dated, not too current, whereas, I'm talking about something that's 2018, but they're coming 2019. It can translate, see, and it brings them traffic.
Very nice.
Now social media is the place where you can put, information that is, is gone with the wind. It's like, okay, here today, gone tomorrow. That's what stories are all about. People are confused about, well, what do I do with Facebook and Instagram stories? That's day-to-day stuff that's not going to last. That's the leaves that fall. When it's time for the trees to change, those are the leaves that fall up. They're falling. You don't need them anymore. So that's stuff like sales, information that you're doing, your date, what you did today. You may do something different tomorrow, but what you did today. And they're only interested in what you're doing today. So it kind of, goes. Didn't think about that. But it's information, messages, and stories and things you want to share that you don't really want to hold on to.
That's what stories is for.
It's ephemeral content, which is one of those terms that they talk about, but it means that it's content that doesn't need to stay around, doesn't need to stick around.
And
it's
so that's so stories you use stories for content that's going to go away. And
yes, and with Instagram, they have a tool that you can make it stay around, but it's not in that stories feature in the top. It's moved to another section. So that's what's confusing about. And Facebook is starting to really promote people to do stories. So now that's coming over to Facebook. Like, why don't I want to do stories? When stories first came out on Facebook, nobody was using it. Nobody. Now, because the Instagram is coming over to Facebook, and everybody, I see a lot of people doing stories and, doing joke of the day or quote of the day or, something of the day. But it's not going to last. It's something that when it's gone, and you're not going to miss it.
Got it. I just figured out what I'm going to use my stories for. Cause I was like, okay, I'm totally not understanding the whole story thing.
And a lot of people are confused. It's just another drawer in the file cabinet of Instagram. Instagram has those, okay, they got the news feed, they got the DM, they got the stories, they got this. It's just another file, another drawer in the file cabinet.
Instagram TV, and I'm like, okay.
Another drawer where you store, okay, what do you put in the IGTV drawer in your file cabinet? That's going to be video that you want to stick around, like a library. That's why people are like, oh, it's going to kill YouTube. It's not going to kill YouTube. But it's YouTube-like in the fact that you're building a library of content that people can come back and see.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes it a lot easier. That little explanation makes it a lot easier to help people understand what to do.
I know people are confused about stories. I see it online all the time in Facebook groups. I see it on Twitter. I'm like, the heck do I do with stories? I'm like, okay, once you figure out stories, you're going to love it. It's just a separate drawer in that file cabinet called Instagram. That's it. Just like Facebook has the pages and the groups, and it's just another drawer. What do you want to put in it? You can leave it empty until you're ready. You don't have to do stories, but stories gets the most attention because it's at the top, and it's people that are following you that may not see your feed, but they'll see your story because there's a big old circle of you at the top. See that?
Yep, makes sense.
And we will be talking more about stories before the end of this year. We'll be talking more soon.
This is good because I have a goal to use stories more in 2019, so I'm going to be tuning in.
There you go. So this fits right in. So
I will be tuning in.
But that's all of that fits into your content room. You gotta Instagram file cabinet, and you got a Facebook file cabinet, and the Twitter, and what are you going to put on Pinterest? And we were talking about LinkedIn. I got a LinkedIn. I was like, man, a LinkedIn message. Wow. So that drew me over to LinkedIn, which I need to pay more attention to. But that's your content room. What are you putting in each cabinet? Each file cabinet.
And again, like you've always told us, where is your audience? If they're on LinkedIn, you might need to be over there.
Take a look.
Go, you might want to be over there, because that's where the people are who want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
business-minded. They're business-minded. It's more B2B, which is business to business, than B2C, which is business to consumer. And most businesses, small businesses are business to consumer. But you can be B2B and be a small business. I don't want to confuse it, but you can be a business that sells to other business. And if that's you, LinkedIn, yes, definitely learn the ins and outs of LinkedIn and get comfortable with that, because that's going to be where you're going to make the most connections, business to business.
Yep, because if you're hearing crickets,
because Facebook may not be, Facebook has the business tools, but you may make more of a connection with a person over in LinkedIn than you do on Facebook, and then you can carry the connection over to Facebook if you like, but you may want to look at it.
Coach Karen says, yes, I'm slowly building up my life on LinkedIn.
And that's what you do. It's slow. You don't have to run the marathon or let me run over the LinkedIn and hurry up and post. No, you want to do it slowly, methodically, learn the ins and outs of LinkedIn and put in the work there. That may, LinkedIn, you may discover that's your first place that you go, because you may get more engagement on business topics and business subjects.
Right.
Versus Facebook is always, the news feed is always going to favor baby pictures, grandma's birthday, your cousin's wedding. It's always going to favor that over your business.
Friends and family on Facebook.
Right. Unless, and if you're in the wedding industry, you're going to have to frame the conversation to get in there with, your cousin's wedding and the baby christening pictures. You have to think about getting into their world and how to do that. So,
yes, and they need to invite you in. Friends and Facebook is the gated community that you need to know somebody.
Yes.
To get in. Wow.
Okay, so think about the tools, and there are more tools. There are lots of tools. These are just a few that I think that you may want to focus on, especially Google, because it's free. Google gives you everything for free. Once you get that Gmail account, you got keys to the kingdom. You can go in and get, all kinds of things.
Right.
So use it while it's free. And then once you discover, well, okay, I need something a little bit more advanced, that's when you can go and look at an advanced tool and, pay the money that you want to pay on it.
Cool.
But definitely look at it.
TJ, thank you so much. This has been so enlightening. Okay, I'm going to say this to everybody. Go play. Go play with Answer the Public. Go play with BuzzSumo. Go play and see what it does for you, and be inspired to write better content for your people.
Yes. Be inspired and, try to make it as simple as possible. Don't overthink it and think, well, I got to set up a light and I got to set this up and I got to put a prop up. No, just your phone, take a picture, make sure it's clear. Or if you do a quick video, make sure it's clear and people can hear you. Post it and let it go in your mind. Say, okay, I'm not going to obsess over it. Go back and check it in a few hours and see what happens.
Right.
Fishing.
Nice. So tomorrow, Coach Karen will be with us talking about money. It's all about money in the month of November, because you need to make some before the end of the year. We're pushing you to make more of it. And she's going to give us some tips and tools on how to do that. So,
and if you're still watching this, if you're watching a replay, leave us a comment, leave us a question, a thought, opinion, whatever, and you feel like you want to share this out with your friends, your family, or whoever may want to know more about what we're talking about today with content, please share it out. we would appreciate that.
Very much so. So, without any further ado, thank you so much for being here live, replay, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been somewhere else, but you took time to spend with us, and we want to bring you more valuable content, so let us know what you want to know about. Like TJ said, put it in the chat. We follow the chat even after the show is no longer live. We still look. So we want to make sure that we are answering your questions. Alfredo, reach out to Carlos. Direct message him. Talk about your project, sir.
Oh, okay.
And that's what we'd like to do. Thank you, Karen, and everybody that was watching over on YouTube. We appreciate you so very much, and we will see you tomorrow. And don't forget to go to the front of your own line.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.